remove fibrin. This is critical. Have people heard of Wobenzyme, mucus? You know what that is? Okay, that was a German product that been around for a long time. One of the problems was that the mucus company, they were able to get a license to import Wobenzyme, but they couldn't get a license to import mucus. And the two need to be taken together to really work the best. And so what Bill did is basically formulated that product in this country, and in this country it's called Nutrizyme. But it contains the carnivora, the enzyme from the Venus flytrap, and which is really critical if you're using enzymes in the treatment of cancer. But these absorbable enzymes, meaning you take them away from food, they don't act to digest your food, they're being absorbed into your body and they digest the inflammatory products, they digest the fibrin. And so all of that fibrin, that 15 layers of fibrin wrapped around and around and around the tumor, you need, if you're going to intervene and you're going to say, we're going to really do something about getting to the root, the cause behind the cause, we're going to deal with the problem, not just the symptom, you've got to strip away that fibrin so that any of your therapies can even see the tumor. And so that the person's immune system, there's also a way, and I'm just saying this, there's a way that when a physician diagnoses a tumor and sends you off for chemotherapy, radiation, all these things, even though they may not speak it, in their mind what they're thinking is that whatever your body had to offer to support you in the face of this cancer, it failed. So we're just going to figure that we can't rely on that anymore. We're going to do it our way. We're going to take over. We're going to kill the cancer with chemotherapy, radiation. We're going to cut it out. And if all of those therapies kill your immune system, that's okay because it didn't work to begin with. I mean, this is the equation that's going on in the doctor's mind. Yes, I know these are immune suppressive therapies, but hey, your immune system didn't do it for you, so if we kill it off, what's the big deal? And I just think that's a bit wrong-headed. I actually think in language a little stronger than that, but that's where we'll leave it. And so if you're going to intervene and do things to support a person's health and do things to really engage their immune system, engage everything you can find, everything you know, everything you do to support their health and help them battle this cancer, you need to intervene with these ways that the tumor has of evading detection and evading treatment. So you need to strip away the mucus. If progenitor cryptocetes is an issue, you need to deal with that. You need to deal with the local pH around the tumor. We'll get to that in a minute. But Nutrizyme, I don't want you to think it's the only product in the whole world. It's just available. It works really well. But if you have enzymes that you're more familiar with, the point is you need absorbable enzymes. That's got to be a part of the protocol. You need things that are going to kill the tumor, whether those are oxidative therapies or the Naturas or germanium or all the things that can be used. I don't ever want you to think from this talk that there's only one way to get to Rome. But these are the things I'm talking about, whether you deal with it with these products from American Nutraceuticals or another way, you got to be dealing with all these different domains, with the fibrin, with the local milieu around the tumor, with the pH, with the fact that tumors can only eat sugar and they have oxidative metabolism. So tumor, a huge oven burning glucose, needs sugar. We've said this before. One of the things about Vitality C, because of the way the ribose is modified, is it gets sucked up. The tumor thinks that it's glucose and it gets pulled into the cell, and because of the absence of catalase in a tumor cell, it breaks down hydrogen ions into hydrogen peroxide, causing cell death. So this is one of the things that Pauling described a long time ago. Why would large doses of vitamin C be effective? And then you've got to shift the microcellular pH. So what does that mean? Well, just to keep it simple, pH balancer plus, and other people use their own concoctions of cesium and rubidium, cesium, rubidium 3-to-1. And what does cesium do? I mean, cesium has been used a long time in the treatment of cancer. Cesium has a peculiar ability to specifically displace the hydrogen ions in that milieu around the tumor. So you've got these single plus hydrogen ions causing an acidic environment around the tumor, and you displace those with the cesium. You've maintained electrical neutrality, but the cesium isn't acidic. So now you have the same number of positive ions around the tumor because you've displaced the hydrogen ions with cesium, but now it's no longer acidic. And so you get a remarkable change of pH in the local environment around the tumor. And again, we're dosing this, we're not just giving pH balance or plus to everybody. We're doing the things we do to ask, is this a product that would serve you? Do you need this? So there's no one protocol for any of these things. But you've got to shift it to an alkaline environment, and that's what the pH balancer plus does. And then inhibiting angiogenesis, these are bindweed extracts and the V-statin. And this, again, this is, you take active ingredients from bindweed, you modify them, you patent them, what do you got? You got Avastin. And then how do you make it? You use recombinant DNA technology, and you find a way to put the gene to make this stuff into an E. coli, and you brew it in huge batches out in Vacaville and extract it, and now you've got a drug. But like so many of these things that are drugs, the whole plant extract works just as well. No one ever said that the herbs don't work the way the drugs derived from them work. And in fact, often the drugs aren't as toxic. So, the classic thing for that, if you take ginseng, people know what ginseng is, it's a classic Chinese herb, and you take the amount of ginseng in a classic Chinese formula, and instead of giving it along with all the other herbs used to modify its properties, you give it alone, and now you've got, the Chinese equivalent of coffee. It's what students take when they're trying to stay up. It's the Red Bull of China is just ginseng tea. It's a stimulant, and ginseng's in a lot of the new, speed has become a legal drug in this country. You can walk into any 7-Eleven and find all kinds of products that do what you used to buy speed to do. But if you take ginseng and you isolate the ginsenosides, you isolate the alkaloids from ginseng and give those just to stimulate a person, they're toxic. They elevate your blood pressure. They, and the same amount of active ingredient in a classic Chinese formula, no elevation in blood pressure, no elevation in blood sugar, no elevation, no insomnia, no anorexia. So often the cost of doing what pharmaceutical companies are doing, of taking a very, very good herb that worked just fine, trying to isolate out the active ingredient, modify it, patent it, and make a drug out of it, you end up with something that has a lot of toxicity, like so many drugs do. And yet, you could just take the herb and it would work. So, long story, V-statin, anti-angiogenesis works really well.